included a research log example, and I've recreated that here. A research log really is pretty basic, and that's a standard tool that's used by a lot of researchers, especially paid researchers, but it can be useful to you as well, I think, especially if you enhance it a little bit. So first thing I do is I don't put it in Microsoft Word or create PDF files like I think is the norm. I always try and do these in Microsoft Excel for the reasons I'll show you now. So normally what you're going to have is a date of the research, a reference number, and that could be, for different documents you're pulling out of certain archives. I don't have any examples of that here, but I guess I could put some in. So you just put in an A, and we can autofill that all the way to the bottom. And then a goal, a source, a repository, and again, this is really useful for keeping track of research you're doing for somebody else. But what I would do is go into your Excel sheet and add 3 columns in here right next to the date, and I would have it be records per hour, and then I would records researched, and this could be sites visited, and then hours worked. So the first thing we want to do is go in and reformat these to general formatting so they don't auto-populate. So I would say for the records per hour, we'll just use a calculation. Here we'll show the number of records searched. Say it's 4 that day and we worked for an hour. Then maybe we jumped up here and we looked at 11 and we worked for 3. And then we'll just go and put in random numbers here. Okay, so we'll just pick up here. A couple of things I would do here is just go in and center these so it's a little bit easier to look at. Probably freeze the panes since I've got data scrolling off the page. So come into View and freeze your pane. Now you can still see your dates all the time and your titles here at the top. And then we want a simple calculation, right? We're going to record the number of records searched by the number of hours to get our records per hour result, and then we can just autofill that down to the bottom, and we'll fix the decimals so they're consistent, and go with a single decimal. And so now we've got our data and we can see how many we're doing. Looks like I didn't get anything in here. And now let's say we want to go in and see, am I getting better at this over time? You could eyeball this, but if you keep track of these for months or years, you'll have a lot of data. So the easy thing to do is to come in here and highlight all this and go in and insert a graph, right? So we could just do a simple bar chart, and we'll just go here, and it's going to try and put it right in the middle here. And we can always fix the formatting, but you can kind of see where the pattern is. And we'll move the chart, move it to a new sheet. And so if you come into chart 1, you can see started off a little slow, we bumped up, but we're kind of hovering right around 8. So I don't know that there's any substantial improvement, although the most recent weeks are kind of encouraging. And you can also insert some things like a trend line. There's a lot of different things you can do in a Microsoft Excel chart, but won't get into any details on how to do that. And you can of course reformat this and change your fonts around and everything else too, to make it a little bit easier to look at. But anyway, that's something I highly recommend that you do, is to go in and just kind of show these things. And I would probably eliminate that scale too and just take out the days that aren't actually days that I worked, but you can leave it either way. And hopefully that gives you something you can check every few months or years and see, am I getting faster at this? Are the tools that I'm employing making me more efficient at doing this? But ultimately, how many records you're able to review per hour, or how many you are able to search or find, is a pretty good indicator of how well or how efficient you've become at doing your job.